A common question that we get asked from our customers is, what is the difference between a refund and a reversal, and when should I use each option? So I've put together this video just to give you some examples of what the differences are and when I would use each option. So firstly, let's talk about reversals. Now, a reversal is done by clicking on the item in question, so this transaction, for example, cash, and then clicking on the minus button. That is going to reverse the transaction. This is not a refund. So this is not giving any money back to the patient. Essentially, this minus button, which we use in payments and adjustments as a reversal, this is saying we never received this payment. So either you've entered it incorrectly, so maybe this one wasn't a cash payment. The patient did pay $149, but they paid it via FPOS and someone has accidentally entered it as cash. I would reverse this transaction. Or perhaps they paid the amount, but you haven't actually received it. Maybe it didn't clear in your accounts and you need to reflect it in Praktika. I would select this and minus. This is going to issue a reversal in the system. It's basically your way of telling the system we never received this money. In this situation, perhaps they did pay $149 when you're doing your settlement, making sure everything is all together correctly. You've noticed that it was actually an FPOS payment. I would click on the plus button and make sure you're entering in the FPOS payment instead. Make sure your transaction date is correct. If you're doing your banking the following day, you may need to backdate this. So always check that your transaction date is correct and then press save. So that one was a nice, easy one. I'll show you another example. So if we have a look at this patient, David Hall, we have got a credit card which is a Visa transaction for $330. Now, I have checked over my records and I can see this was actually a MasterCard payment, or maybe it was an Amex payment, and it's been reflected incorrectly in Praktika and I'd like it fixed. This is a situation where I would use a reversal. So I'm not giving any money back to the patient. I just need to rectify my records. So I click on it and then click the minus button, and then you've reversed that transaction. This will leave an outstanding balance of $330 because essentially you've said this transaction never happened. We've reversed it. There are no transactions listed for this account. Then again, you can go in and enter in the correct payment method. Maybe it was an Amex payment, and we'll save. Now, the alternative is a refund. A refund is if you are physically giving money back to that patient. So if that money has cleared in your account, let's say you received the money a few days ago and you're now needing to give it back to them for whatever reason, that is a refund. I would not reverse that transaction. If you reverse that transaction, you're essentially saying you never received that money, and that would not be accurate. So if I have a look at this patient file, we have done whitening for this patient. Let's pretend that this is, a few weeks old and it wasn't just entered today. They've done whitening. Whitening didn't work. We discussed with the patient that we can give them a partial refund. So maybe I'm not going to refund them for the models, but I will refund them for the bleaching that didn't work for them. So instead of clicking on this and pressing minus, because we know that wouldn't be accurate, we did receive that money, I'm actually going to click on the plus button. And then because there's no money owing on this account, the only option we've got is refund. You need to determine how you are refunding that patient. So are you giving them cash? Are you doing it on your FPOS terminal? Or are you doing a direct credit refund? This is if you are transferring it into their bank account. This is a very popular option with refunds because it's the easiest method, or you may do a credit card refund. Direct credit refund, enter in your amount. This one's going to be a partial refund at $280 because I'm only refunding the bleaching. Again, make sure your transaction date is correct. You can leave a note here if you wish to, and then we'll press on save. So we have issued a direct credit refund. It has not touched this Visa payment. This is still a valid payment. We did receive $394 when the patient paid. We have since given back $280. You can see there is an outstanding amount on this appointment of $280. This is because technically the system still thinks you need to be paid for that amount. You've given money back and we don't know why. So you would either need to go in and uncomplete this appointment and remove those item codes if you see fit, or enter in an adjustment. So I can click on my plus button, add in an adjustment, and we can say doctor's adjustment, treatment failed, just as an example. And then press save. That will balance it down to 0, and we've still got a full record of everything that happened in this appointment. So just to sum up, a refund is if you are physically giving money back to that patient. A reversal is if you never received that money, or if a mistake has been made and you need to correct it. I hope this helps.